Good morning, and thank you for joining us at the All About Horses at Miss Atwood's farm. This is Miss Nikki, and Miss Atwood will be taking you around her horse farm today. So can you raise your hand if you have a horse, love horses, or have rode horses? Awesome. All right, so Miss Atwood, let's get started.
Perfect. Good morning, everyone. How's it going? So thank you for joining me here and Miss Nikki and myself. And we are going to talk all about horses today. So I love horses. I know you guys know this because every time we come in, we always ask about that really big word. If you remember that really big word that ag stands for, can you tell me? You got it. It's agriculture. And we always say agriculture means two things. It means food and farming. Well, today we're here at my farm. We're starting in the place where we spend a lot of time in the winter and on rainy days. This is our indoor riding arena. So we like to be able to ride all year round. And it actually allows us to do this. We have lights, we have lots of area and lots of dirt. So if you guys have questions, you can always type them into the Q&A as we're going around. And Miss Nikki will let us know those questions. And so I love horses. I have had horses my whole entire life. This barn was built about 23 years ago. My dad and my family built it. On the concrete here, my brother's name is really prevalent. Mine, I think it was a little bit not as big. So this is where it all started. Now, I was wondering, does anyone here know what horses like to eat? Raise your hand if you know what they like to eat. Yeah. So horses like to eat hay and they like to eat grain. So if you look right over here, we have a couple of bales of hay. So this hay is grass that we cut up and we dried out and we put it in this nice, cool, fancy machine to give us these bales. I was wondering, anyone here have big muscles? Show me your big muscles. Yeah, definitely. You need big muscles to lift these hay bales because they're pretty heavy. Do you think that these horses want to eat the whole bale of hay? Yeah, well, they actually do want to eat it all, but we don't give it all at the same time. When we go to feed them, we normally give them about 3 to 4 flakes. So each flake is like a slice. So think about when you're having a slice of pizza. Do you want to have one slice of pizza or do you want to have three? Yeah, I always want to have three. So when they're not eating their hay, they also have some other things called grain that they eat. So we have two different types of grain here. This one right on this side is called sweet feed. Can you say sweet feed? It has some molasses, some oats, and some grains inside of there. And then this one is just whole oats. So they like to eat that. As you can see, they're looking at me right now. Miss Nikki, can you make sure that we're highlighted on there? So what we're going to do now is we are going to walk down the aisle and say hi to all the horses. So this first one is Cupcake. Cupcake is really sweet. She is a buckskin. That's her color. Okay, they all have different colors and they can be different breeds, but these are all quarter horses. This one is Hemi. Hemi likes to stand up on the concrete. She likes to be a little bit taller. And then we have Earl the squirrel. Earl the squirrel's really silly. He makes funny noises with his tongue, and he likes. All right, and then this is my girl. This is Ellie. Excuse me. Ellie Mae. We're going to see her a little bit more in just a little bit. She's a gray. I forgot to tell you, the yellow one is a Palomino, and the brown one is a bay. So they all have different colors. And as we continue, there is 20 horses up here in this barn. And these 20 horses are not all ours. So sometimes people will have us take care of their horses to help them because they don't have a barn at their house. Javi's back there. He's actually going to the bathroom right now, but he's really cool. He is a sorrel, so he's like a reddish color. And then we have Banker. Banker's beautiful. He's black and he's got this big white face. He says hi. And then we also have Finn, his neighbor. Finn he just got a haircut, so he's got some short hair going on here. And then we have 3 more on this side. So each side of our barn has 10 horses on it. So there's 10 horses here and 10 horses there. This one is Clifford. And we have Grinder. And then wait till you hear this one. This one's name is Cranky Louise. So she's super cranky to other horses. She does love people, but she's cranky to other horses. So does anyone have any questions so far? Or are we still doing okay, Miss Nikki?
No questions in the chat yet, so if you have a question, feel free to drop it into the chat for us.
All right, perfect. So my dad is here today too. Dad, can you give us a wave? My dad doesn't have any makeup on. He doesn't know. So Dad, we're gonna get Ellie Mae out and we're gonna ride her. Yes. So I've been riding for a really long time. There was a time where I was really scared though. It was really scary to me because I fell off and I hit my head and I was scared. So I did that when I was what, 10, 12? Okay, just kidding. I was 5. See, it was so long ago, I don't remember. But for a long time, I didn't want to go fast. But now I like to go fast. Has anybody ever been, has anybody ever been to a horse show before? Raise your hand. Okay, so if you has anybody ever been to a rodeo before? Yeah, so if you see the women's event in rodeo, that is what we do. We barrel race. So we like to go fast and we have to turn and the object is to go the fastest out of everybody there. Now you notice when I got Ellie out, she was really dirty, right? Yeah, so Ellie is always dirty. She is never clean, is she, Dad? No. And even when you give her a bath, she still goes and rolls. So who has a hairbrush at home? Raise your hand. Yeah, so these are like hairbrushes. So we have to make sure that she's clean-ish. The only way she gets really clean is if we give her a bath. And if we have time, we'll show you at the end her getting a bath. So every time before we ride, we have to make sure that they're clean enough for the saddle. We make sure that their hooves are good. Do you guys know what part of their body are the hooves? Yeah, so those are their feet, right? Raise your hand if you can think of another animal that has hooves on their feet. Yes, for sure. All right, so I want to show you, Miss Nikki, you want to come to this side? I'm going to show you, I'm going to pick up her foot. And you know what's really cool is Ellie just had her feet done this morning. So she's a really good girl. Did you see how she just lifted it up? Now she has something special on her foot. Does anyone know what these are called? Yes, those are called horseshoes. And the horseshoes are held on by these nails right here, okay? And there is 6 of them. But do you think this hurts them? No, it definitely doesn't hurt them. They actually like it if there's a lot of rocks, it makes it a little bit easier for them to be able to walk, okay? So we're gonna use some of this tack. So the stuff that we use is called tack, and this here is a saddle pad. Okay, this is like a cushion. So it makes their backs feel good when we're sitting on them. Have you ever rode a horse bareback? Yeah, I have, but not in a really long time because it's bony, right? Now, this here is a saddle. And there's a lot of different types of saddles. This is a Western saddle. And this Western saddle is what we have to use to barrel race, okay? There are fancy ones, there's not fancy ones, there's big ones, there's small ones, there's all different sizes. So if you were young, you would have a smaller size. If you were bigger, you have a bigger size.
How heavy is the
That's the
saddle?
seat. Oh, that's the seat side. Oh, that's a great question. How heavy is the saddle? The saddles range from anywhere from 12 pounds to like 40-ish pounds. Mine, I would say, is about 25 pounds. Did you see me kind of have to bend down a little bit to to swing it up there? Yeah. So I'm a little short and Ellie's a little tall, so it's able to get up there. So this part here is like a belt. This belt is how the saddle stays on when we're up there. I'm not going to tighten it right now. We'll tighten it when we go outside, but this just helps keep the saddle where it's supposed to be. Has anybody ever got to go on a trail ride before? Yeah, so trail rides are fun where you can ride through the woods, you can ride through the fields, the waters. Can I tell you a secret? Ellie Mae does not like water. She does not like mud puddles. She is a princess. Right, Dad? Oh yeah. Yeah. So do you see this pretty part on the front? That is called a breast collar. So that also helps, well, one, it's really pretty. And two, it helps to keep the saddle from sliding backwards, okay? Or sideways. When we're running, when we're in a competition, we like to protect their legs. So I'm gonna put on some bell boots just to should we do those too? Just to protect her legs and to help her not pull a shoe. And then we'll put on some splint boots. These splint boots also just help protect the bones and just the legs because we run and we turn so fast that we have to be protected. So do you guys think it's a lot of work to have horses?
Do you have a
Yeah,
favorite horse?
yeah. I can't answer that question. Do I have a favorite horse? Um, this one right here. She is my favorite. Ellie Mae is a good girl. I do love them all, but yes, she's my favorite. And if you notice, this is like a shin guard, like if you play soccer or any sporting event that helps to protect your legs. Um, when we ride, we typically wear different attire, but we always have to have boots on, pants, and then some sort of, it depends if we're practicing, we don't have to wear long sleeves, but if we're in a competition, we have to wear long sleeves and a Western hat, which we can show you in a little bit. I did forget to mention that they all here, they have a place where they can go outside and munch grass, but they also have their own apartment. So this apartment is what we call a stall. So this is where they get to eat, they get to sleep. This is where Ellie gets really dirty. She can't help it. She's just always dirty, right? So Ellie is 9 years old this year. I got her when she was 3 years old. So she's been here for a while. She's really funny. So in order to have a steering wheel and to control them, we use a bridle and rein. It depends on your horse what kind of bridle you use. Some have different things that they like. Did you see how fast she put that in her mouth? She was all about like, let's go ride. Ellie has a favorite snack. Her favorite snack is peppermints. Those puffy peppermints that you get at restaurants sometimes. Those are Ellie's favorite. And if she even hears the wrapper, she starts to like try to find it. So we're going to head outside and go for a ride. Okay. So as we're walking out, I'm going to tell you a little bit about training our young horses and things. Let's go this way. So, do you guys take showers and baths at home? Raise your hand if you do. Yeah, do you think horses take showers? So they actually do. This part right here is our wash rack. And that's where they go to get showers after we ride. Did you notice Ellie doesn't want to walk through the mud puddle? So if you look over here on the right-hand side, there's this green tractor. So this big green tractor is here to help us to do a lot of farm work. Has anyone here ever been on a tractor ride? Hey. Yeah. So I like to go in the tractor. Dad loves the tractor, so we let him drive that around a lot. But we do as well. So I made her belt a little bit tighter, so it's going to be easier for us to ride. Do you guys see that brown pile over here to the right? Do you know what that is? Yes, that is the horse poop. Yeah, so we call it manure, and that manure is really good for garden. Does anyone here have a garden at home? Yeah, for sure. So horse manure is really good because it helps to bring nutrients into the soil. So Ellie is kind of naughty sometimes. She is actually trying to eat some grass before I get on to ride because she's really hungry. Miss Nikki, do we have any questions? Are we still good?
We have a lot of questions for you.
Okay, what you got?
So why is there a basketball hoop in one of the stalls?
That's a great question. Don't your horses play basketball? No. So when I was a lot younger and when my brothers were younger, we liked to practice and we played basketball. So that used to not be a stall, but now it is.
What are the ages of some of the horses?
That's a great question. So at this barn, the youngest horse here is 4, and then the oldest horse here is probably 18. So you see, Ellie Mae she's a little dramatic. She doesn't like flies, and so Dad's gonna put some bug spray on her. Ooh, good. What else do we got?
How many breeds of horses are there?
Oh, that's a really good question. I'm not entirely sure. Dad, how many different breeds of horses are there? There's a lot. Yeah, I don't even know. I would have to look that up. There's a lot.
Do you do lessons there?
So yes, I do. I do give lessons. Most of all of these horses are personal horses though, so my lesson availability is kind of small. But yes, I do some.
Have you competed in a show with Ellie Mae?
Yes, so I've been competing in a show since Ellie Mae was 4. So what we do is we'll take them to the show and we'll start practicing with them. So they have to go, they have to learn how to stand nicely at a trailer. They have to learn about scary noises and all of the things that goes into riding. So this gait right here is called a trot. So it's kind of slow. It's a nice little like jog. You like to get warmed up. You don't just go out and run a marathon.
How old are your horses?
So our youngest one, we actually had a baby born in, when was he born? I think he was born in April. Yeah, I think he was born in April. And he's really cute. His name is Junior. And he is our youngest. And then our oldest, Ella, my first horse, is 33 now. So we have lots.
And how old is Cupcake?
Cupcake is 5. That's a good question.
What is their favorite food to eat?
Well, it depends on the horse. Ellie's would be peppermint. They all like apples and carrots, and they have special treats, special cookies that they like to have. But they do love their grain and their hay as well, and they need it every day.
How much does a horse weigh?
Well, it depends on the horse. Dad, how much do you think Ellie weighs? Probably 1,150 pounds Ellie probably weighs. And we don't tell her that she's a little chubby.
Where do you get your horses from?
Oh, that's a good question. So sometimes we actually breed them on the farm, but we go to other places that breed them and you can pick what you like. It's just like dogs. There are horse breeders and dog breeders. Ooh. Did you notice whenever I want to stop, I have to say whoa? Whoa is the magic word to stop.
How tall is Ellie Mae?
Ellie Mae's about 15. She's probably like 15 too. Hands.
And what does a
So
hand
they
mean?
measure they measure horses in hands. Each hand is 4 inches, right? I believe.
How many horses do you have here on the farm?
Ooh. How many horses what?
Do you have here on the farm?
So there's 20 here, and then we have another farm down the road, and there's 6 there.
How much weight can a horse hold?
Oh, that's a really good question. It depends on the horse, the size of the horse. Horses have been doing work for a lot of years, whether it's riding, whether it's pulling carts, whether it's pulling plows. So they are actually they're pretty sturdy. I think I've seen some big people as well as small people on horses.
Is
Ellie
Ellie
prefers the small ones. She likes when little kids ride her.
is Ellie a mom?
Ellie is not a mom. Say she'll be a mom, I hope. Then she'll have a baby. Hopefully it'll look just like her.
How
Hopefully
fast
it'll
can
act.
Ellie run?
Do you want to see how fast Ellie is?
They want to see her run, yes.
Okay. So the pattern that I just did is our barrel pattern. And I'm gonna try to cruise through one. If I lose the headset, we'll just pick it up. So Ellie is pretty fast. Her favorite part is that straight line home. Okay, so here we go. She's really silly at home sometimes. And Dad's watching me. Dad also coaches me. Hey, hey, Ellie. Hey, hey, hey.
That looks like a lot of fun, students. I don't know. I think I might have to ride a horse today. So
I know, right? We could do that. What do you think? Was she fast or was she slow?
she was
Dad might say she's slow sometimes. Ellie's favorite speed is to go slow, and she likes to see how she's a little prancy now. So she thinks that she won. She won the barrel race. So you notice how I made a right turn and then 2 left turns? Sometimes you can even do 1 left and 2 rights. It really just depends on the horse.
So we have a lot of questions to catch up on. We have about 7 minutes left. So questions coming
Perfect.
in. How do you keep track of all the horses?
So when you guys are sleeping in the morning, yeah, we're definitely not sleeping. We stay up, we get up early and we sleep, or we stay up late. So it's a lot, but it's what we love, so it's fun.
What time do you have to get up in the morning?
Between 4:30 and 5:30. It really depends on the week and what's going on.
Do any of the horses' manes go all the way down their back?
Oh, that's a good question. There is one on the other side that's a boarder's horse, and they actually their mane is much longer than Ellie's.
Okay. Do the horses sleep standing up?
They do. Horses can sleep standing up. Their knees actually function as like a lock. Ooh. Dad, would you take her and hose her for us when we can go show them the camper quick? Thank you. So what do you think? Did Ellie do a good job? Give me a thumbs up if she did. Yes, yes, she did. Thank you. All right, so go ahead, keep firing your questions and we'll walk over to the camper.
How long do horses live?
Oh, that's a good question. So it used to be the typical age of lifespan was up to about 25. But if you were listening earlier, Ellie's all wild now. We have one here that is 33 this year. So it's just how you take care of them and the horse itself.
Do you live on the farm or have to drive to the farm?
So I live right down the road. My dad and my stepmom, they live at the base of the driveway. And then I live not even a mile down the
Do you dress your horses up for the holidays?
road. No, but I dress them up for the winter and the cold seasons. We have blankets and sheets that they wear to help keep them clean and to help them stay, well, help Ellie stay clean, and to stay warm.
Which horse is the most playful?
Um, Earl the squirrel. Earl the squirrel likes to do things.
Is that
He
why his
came
name is
with a
Squirrel?
different name when he came. Yes, he sometimes does squirrely things. Before you ask another question, I just want to show you quick. When we go to horse shows, we haul a truck and a trailer. This is one of our trailers here. We can take 4 horses. And when you take 4 horses, you got to take a lot of things. So all the stuff you saw me put on Ellie, it gets stored back here. Okay. And then in order to take them, we have, this one's a 4 horse. So they have this nice ramp where they can go up and they can come right inside. They have fans, they have the windows that open, and then they all have their own spot, which is really cool. And then Miss Nikki is zooming from the front, the living quarter part, which is the camper part where we would sleep. It has a bed, it has a couch that folds out into a bed. The table is where we can eat or sleep. And then there is a bathroom that has a shower and a toilet and everything that you need. And then Miss Nikki on the couch is my cowboy hat and my shirt that I would wear. We can wear different ones. We can wear all different colors, but mostly you either have to wear a hat or a helmet, or a hat or a helmet and then a long sleeve button up. I've been racing since I was like 8 years old.
Do horses wake up early or late?
They wake up as soon as I get here. They're ready. So they sleep in small bits. So they will wake up when I come in to feed them. They all get excited and they make lots of noise.
How often do you ride each horse?
So in order to keep them fit and conditioned for our shows, we ride them probably 5 days a week.
Is it just you and your family to care for the horses, or do you have people that work on your farm?
We have people that help us because it's a lot. It's a lot of work, but we all work as a team and it goes pretty well.
Are there certain commands you use to make the horses move in a certain way?
Yes. So a slow jog, we make like a clucking noise, like a and then to go faster, a lope, we like kind of kiss to them. And then when to stop, we always say whoa.
Do you say yee-haw when you ride your horse?
No, but my dad is the yeehaw king. Right, Dad? Don't you do the yeehaw? Don't you do a yeehaw?
When is Ellie's birthday?
Ellie's birthday is January 27th. She was born in Louisiana, actually. You want to tell them the story?
All right.
Yeah.
The story about this is we went to Oklahoma to a horse sale, an auction. And Ellie Mae was there, and my daughter really wanted that horse. So this was her first auction buying a horse.
It was scary.
It was scary. She was in the stands, I'm sitting by her, and she went up to a certain price, and it's like, oh, that's it, I can't. And she started crying. I said, well, just go $500 more. Oh, I can't. I'm crying and crying. Then she went the next to 500 and she got her.
That's right.
And then she started crying again. I can't understand these girls.
Yes, Ellie Mae.
Now we have her.
Oh, that's awesome. So friends, thank you for joining us today. I know there's still a couple of questions on the chat. We'll have time for about 3 more questions. first question is, how many babies do you typically have in 1 year on the farm?
Here we have 1 or 2, not a lot. Oh, I'm gonna let the doggos out. I didn't even show you the doggos. Go ahead, sorry.
Let's see, other animals.
Come here, hey, come here. There's
How
Maxine.
tall is your tallest horse?
Ooh, we have one that's like 16. How tall would you think Banker is? Like 16 hands. Hi, sit down. He is beautiful.
And last question, what got you interested in horses?
So my dad got me interested in horses. He had a love for horses before I even was born. So Ellie, you see Ellie chewing on the wood. She's naughty.
I think Ellie likes her bath. So friends, thank you for
She does.
joining us today. We have had a lot of fun showing you around Miss Atwood's horse farm, and hopefully you enjoyed her ride as well as her tour of all the horses.
Thank you.